所有生灵皆须向我臣服。
什么狗屁神灵！你凭什么让我们臣服？王国之日月之时，又不是为了我们。
从今往后
Long Haochen undergoes the trials of the Throne of Eternity and Creation. The episodes of the anime Throne of Seal have reached a very exciting stage. As shown in the trailer, in order to pass the trial of the Throne of Eternity, Long Haochen was forced to become the ultimate villain. He deliberately took extreme measures to make the Nature Tribe and the Dark Elves put aside their centuries-old hatred and unite against a common enemy, himself. He mounted a sacred dragon, gained control of the Sun and Moon Divine Stone, and declared himself the ruler of the continent. Only through this bold move could he rewrite the tragic fate of the two races, who in the original timeline were destined to destroy each other. In this radically changed version of the Son of Light storyline, he voluntarily descended into darkness, hoping that through destruction he could bring about rebirth. But will he truly succeed in achieving peaceful coexistence between the two peoples? The preview for episode 168 is quite unexpected. Compared to the original novel, the Trial of the Throne has been significantly changed in the anime. Instead of the original 3 stages, power, choice, and human weakness, the anime now presents only 2, creation and destruction. In the first trial, Long Haochen is transported to the Sun and Moon continent, where he must find a way to prevent the destruction of the 2 warring races, the Nature Tribe and the Dark Elves. After several failed attempts, Long Haochen realizes that the only way to achieve peace is to become a tyrant, forcing the 2 sides to unite against him as a shared threat. He declares himself ruler so that the races would forget their hatred and join forces in opposition to him. The sacred dragon, who in the novel was an examiner of the second stage of the trial, is instead portrayed here as the guardian of the Sun and Moon Divine Stone. Through a clever strategy, Long Haochen obtains the artifact and also upgrades his shield, transforming it into a powerful weapon. Thus, he successfully completes the first trial and uncovers the mysteries of the Sun and Moon continent. Furthermore, the dragon, who originally hated him, becomes his companion. This dragon's strength is equivalent to the 6th level of the 9th rank, which means it surpasses even some temple leaders like Haochen. With the dragon's help, Long Haochen can easily rule the entire world. In the novel, the Dark Elf Princess Cece deceived Long Haochen and stole the Seed of Destruction to take over the world. However, in the anime, it is Long Haochen who becomes king of the Dark Elves and changes the fate of both races with his own hands. He witnesses how the Nature Tribe, led by King Easton, mercilessly slaughters the Dark Elves. Later, when he saves the surviving elves and gives the Moon Stone to Cece, the cycle of vengeance repeats. This time, the Dark Elves rise up and annihilate the Nature Tribe in return. This reflects the author's philosophy. Light and darkness are opposites, but they cannot exist without each other. After creation comes destruction, and after destruction, rebirth. Thus, if Long Haochen were to side with either race, he would ultimately fail and be unable to pass the trial. The only solution is to become evil himself, so that both races, unified by a shared threat, would forget their grudges and fight side by side. In the trailer, we see Long Haochen holding the Divine Stone and riding on the sacred dragon, proclaiming that he is the god of this world. He ruthlessly kills all who oppose him, both Nature Tribe members and Dark Elves alike. The once noble hero has now become a merciless tyrant. This is especially tragic for Cece. Once, Haochen saved her people from extermination, but years later, as king, he becomes the one slaughtering both friend and foe. Now that both races face extinction, their only hope is to unite, forget their past grievances, and fight back against Long Haochen. In the final scene of the trailer, Cece shoots an arrow at her former king. As we recall, in the novel, the Trial of the Throne consisted of 3 stages, each connected to a specific character: King Easton, the Sacred Dragon, and the Eternal Angel. But in the anime, the storyline has been heavily altered. While the characters still appear, their roles have changed. The Sacred Dragon is no longer the examiner of the second stage, but the guardian of the Divine Stone of the Sun and Moon. Still, I personally prefer how the trials were portrayed in the original. Long Haochen showed tremendous power in defeating his enemies. He found himself in the domain of life ruled by King Easton, and soon a fierce battle broke out between them. Haochen accused King Easton of destroying an entire clan for selfish reasons. He merged his 2 swords into one and activated the domain of the God of Light. In response, Easton attempted to use his domain of life, but immediately felt that his power was not only being suppressed but was also fueling Haochen's light. A brutal battle began. Easton possessed terrifying physical strength that far surpassed Haochen's. At that moment, a girl named Cici appeared in the cave. Her aura radiated destruction, the direct opposite of King Easton's creative energy. Alarmed, Easton instinctively hid behind Long Haochen. Cici had brought with her the seed of the Tree of Destruction, a rare and extremely dangerous artifact capable of unbalancing the entire world. Soon, Cici revealed her true goal. She intended to become the new ruler of Easton's world and turn it into her own Godslayer domain. Long Haochen had been deceived. Cici admitted that she had lied to him to use his strength for her own ends. She offered Haochen a deal: abandon the light and join her. In return, she would spare him and even marry him. However, Long Haochen had already grown suspicious of her. He noticed several inconsistencies in her story and behavior, and had secretly placed a spiritual seal on her. When she tried to unleash the power of the Tree of Destruction, Haochen activated the spell. As a result, Cici's body shrank to that of a child, and all her power vanished. The girl was shocked and accused Haochen of trickery. But he calmly replied that he was simply being cautious once he realized her story was false. He explained in detail which clues had exposed her lies, from her incorrect references to Faith to her strange reaction to his wings, her behavior on the way to Easton's Hill, and her hidden abilities that didn't match her stated level of power. Long Haochen is not a native of this world, but his soul and light are on the same wavelength as the Tree of Eternity, of which Easton is a part. Using the strength of his soul, he communicated with the world's natural will and received confirmation that King Easton was not the monster Cici had described. Thus, Long Haochen exposed the lies and plans of the Moon Queen, proving that he is not just a kind-hearted hero, but a wise and cautious warrior capable of seeing through deception and discerning truth from lies. Long Haochen deliberately became the villain in order to bring peace between two warring races. His sacrifice shows the painful cost of true leadership and vision. In pretending to fall into darkness, he chose the hardest path to achieve harmony through unity. What do you think of these changes to the anime's storyline? Let us know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and see you next time.